Struggles are mighty at the moment for Isaac Robinson. However, still in it.
And Dickerson's going for the course record. Dickerson's 9 down. And he's playing this 15th. He's farther up the fairway. You can actually see his group up there.
You see a very conservative drive there by Gannon Burr. Now Antala.
Another perfect shot there from Antala, missing on the proper side. That's the wide side of the green. The left be a couple steps inside of where Isaac landed. It just shocks me with Calvin. He's tied for third, and he's putted terrible compared to the other guys.
Well, Calvin's miss every single event is low, and I think we've seen 2 or 3 misses today, every one of them low. That's just what he does. I think about that week in and week out. If that guy putted 6 inches higher on average, he'd be almost unstoppable at every tournament.
Simon immediately turning away. Come on. No.
Into the corner, doesn't get it to stop.
He will take a meter in from there. You only go directly to the drop zone if you never come back in bounds at all, because you are team from OB.
And that's a park job for Sullivan Tipton, just outside of bullseye.
Bite. That's not gonna. It's OB. He'll have a chance to putt from over there. Spotter will mark it. There's that Dickerson score. Look at that, Terry. He got the birdie on 15. He's now 10 down with 3 to play. They're not easy birdies coming in, but still, great round by Chris.
Yeah, remember, hot round was set by Adam Hammis 2 days ago where he shot 10 under. He was the only player to get to double digits. Chris Dickerson has matched that with 3 to play.
Oh no.
Big slip, looks okay. Anytime I see a player go down, I'm always most concerned about the player here. And his foot is just his lead foot. It left him.
Yeah, just playing to that slope that he was trying to step into.
Yeah.
Robinson, birdie luck.
Chance for Antala now to take the outright lead.
Antala is your new leader at the World Championships.
And if you're staying up late or early, depending on the time of day in Finland, well, your man is the leader of the World Championship. Thinking about next year, the Worlds being in Tampere, Finland, wouldn't that be a story to tell? Long ways away. I talked about it earlier today, Terry. 27 holes left is when my mind really starts to focus in on who's going to win. Right now, Antala's the leader.
Good. Yeah. Wow. Rip that thing out of the ground. God damn. Yep.
Thankfully, our cameraman is all right. You got to be protected at all costs out there, AJ. Trying to get that shot of our new leader, Antela. Here's Simon. Does he have another circle two? No, but it looks like that stayed inbound just barely. McMahon a chance to save par. He's also in circle two. And what felt like so much momentum coming from that card, now we're seeing their putters failing them, or at least they have long looks, that is. Not exactly easy ones. And this one just barely over the edge. And to think almost every par that he has on that card was just a low putt away from being a birdie.
Exactly. Exactly. But he's stepping up, and he's making the big one when he needed to. You know, if you're Calvin Heimberg, it's one hole at a time.
Heimberg is now 2 back of Antela. He sits at 25 under.
Some of these mistakes, these missed tee shots for Simon starting to add up. A little bit of unfortunate as well. A couple holes ago at the big rollaway.
Tipton gets to 22 under. That puts him 5 back of our leader. Looking back, Gannon may have pulled or possibly landed on something.
It's just a very jarring fall. I mean,
like he
when
tweaked
your front
himself.
foot, when your lead foot completely leaves you, you know, in a way it's like a car crash. It just, almost a whiplash effect. Just hope he's okay, first and foremost. Ultimately, it was a pretty good shot. I mean,
Yeah, all things considered, the
Yeah.
result wasn't bad. I mean, he's playing this with his 3rd here. Still a chance to get up and down here for the birdie.
I was going to say, just the big hyzer. That's a nice job.
Sometimes birdies make everything better.
And they certainly do.
And Antela knows all about him. He's picked up 7 birdies in the front 9. He is now your solo leader. 27 holes left to play.
That's wide. We saw Sully get very fortunate.
And it's possibly going to have the same result.
Right on the edge.
It looks like the gallery says it's in, and a green flag by inches. Or would he say centimeters?
Definitely. You got to start converting now, Terry. We've got a lot of Finnish fans watching.
They certainly do, as they're pushing about midnight over there in Finland right now. Right around that time, Antela is going to keep them glued to their screens.
Man. Centimeters inbounds here on 10, but no roll away. Should be in good position to attack the green.
I love that, Joey.
That looks better than Antela's. Should land on the fairway.
Just a matter of will it sit, and the answer is yes.
What I've noticed, Terry, here is the more right the players land, it is a little flatter over there. These big flare skips that are coming out and landing on the left side of the fairway, that's where there's that more severe slope heading down. And once these just start rolling, they don't have a good chance of stopping. Let's check the ground play here.
That's going to get up and roll.
Yeah, but it's got
I think this
a good
one
turn.
is going to stop. A favorable yet safe roll. We haven't seen many of those.
Is that a baby crying?
Heimberg, tee of 13.
It's a big carry, but Calvin's not worried about that. Center cut for Calvin.
He did come up short. Not by too much. Still the birdie look here for Burr. Nice resilience there as Gannon will walk away with the birdie. Tipton, tee of 13. Needs to keep leaking left. He's going to continue to flirt with the OB lines. And that one's in bounds.
Look at the crowd. Amazing.
And Chris Dickerson, 10 under, 100% C1X putting today. He's got the bogey on the scorecard for hole number 8. See how he can close out, chasing down a course record here at the World Championship.
And he's in the fairway after his tee shot on 16.
As we look at our Innova hot rounds, Burr at 9 under, Paul Kranz in the clubhouse along with Jake Hebenheimer and Connor Rock shooting an 8 under. Hebenheimer and Kranz shooting 9 under. So solid day here on moving day. And Perkins, you're out there front and center. We're seeing Arcana current conditions, 84 degrees. Tell us about the hills and how the heat all factors in.
It's definitely hot out here. The course is about a 5-mile walk. So fatigue is definitely a relevant discussion, especially towards the end of the back 9. And honestly, the course kind of progressively gets harder. There's a bit more danger on that back. So you definitely want to come prepared. And caddies, I think, go a long way this event.
Yeah, Perkins, I mean, you've been all over the world playing disc golf. I mean, compare this course as far as the walk is concerned to some of the other courses our fans might know at home.
I think the closest comparison is Deglow. Just as far as, half the time you're walking pretty steep downhill, half the time you're walking up. And for most disc golfers, it shouldn't really be a problem. But, if you're getting hot from the bogeys and it's hot outside, you could get a little tired.
There you go. It's just like the Deglow, as Perkins would say. This is
Leaking.
very close to being a disaster.
Oh,
Not even close at all. That is a disaster. Out of bounds left.
just needed a bit more turn.
And I'll say this, where it went OB, he's just going to be forced to lay it up, and that almost might just be a blessing. Because if you go out of bounds a little higher on the hill and you go for the putt, you could almost see a double out of bounds potentially happening. Door open for Isaac to make a 2-stroke swing with a good second shot.
I think I love that is what we hear. And
Oh,
no, just when it looked like it had time to come back in, it didn't.
It
So
looks
now it
so
all
good.
comes down to where exactly he's going to get it marked.
Yeah, he's asking that right now.
No, I'm just saying like across the path.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
definitely cross.
So there's the conversation.
Catching up with Burr on the 16th.
He doesn't like it. It's a little bit too flippy on the roller. Let's see if his reaction. All right, green flag. Nice. So Terry, the perspective here looks like, it's not as steep as it is, but when the disc, it doesn't have a lot of chance to try to come back. We just saw that with buckets. Because it's sloping up, the disc is going to kind of catch that hill so quickly. And shot there from Luke. Boy, what Isaac wouldn't pay for that shot there.
Big opportunity for Robinson.
I love the weight on it.
And right next to the pin, just barely deep of it.
Look at
Amazing.
where Antela is down here. I mean, he's going to be tempted to try to save it, but it could be a disaster. I think a layup is a good play here. Let's take a look at Isaac's shot. Yeah, the angle was just perfect. Didn't need to pay for Luke's. He had one on his own.
Well, immediately all I thought was, please don't hit off Luke's disc and then possibly go skip flaring past the basket out of bounds. We've seen some crazy stuff today. Looks like Antela's going to wait for Anderson to throw first.
Now the camera shows us how steep it is.
Yeah, and you want to be 3 feet right of the pin. That's just about exactly what he's done. You do not want to connect with the koozie, hit any kind of metal, anything of that nature. Yeah, I was thinking back to the course one you're familiar with. Your brother-in-law won a world championship there, and your wife won worlds back in 2009. Blue Valley, which isn't on the scene like it was back in 2009, but Blue Valley, I feel like, would be one of the most closest comparisons in terms of the overall track. Similar distance and plenty of hiking. That was brutal.
Yeah, me and Avery were talking about that this morning, you know, reminiscing, and yeah, it's a great comparison. I just think laying this up is a smart play. A lot can happen here. Just match the angle of the hill.
Ooh.
I don't know that was a layup.
No,
It's going to result in a perfect shot, or that's ultimately what it is. But that did not look like he was just trying to get it close. As Heimberg in for birdie, 8 under through 13. Heimberg's going to be 1 off of our leader. McMahon picks up a birdie. And Sullivan ultimately walks away with the par. That's the distance you love on such a sloped green. That is for Robinson to take the lead.
It's just kind of the way Ivy is, Ivy Hill. The 2-stroke swing train has been in full effect so far today. A lot of out of bounds out here.
Robinson, Heimberg, and Antela out in front. They're trying to pull away, but Gannon Burr says, don't go too far. I'm putting up a hot round. Dickerson, we see, has moved to 11.
That's a great birdie on 16 for Dickerson.
Holding on to the course record at the moment, making a big move. He's up 14 spots into 5th place.
Yeah, this late in the tournament, that's huge. That looks real good from Gannon. Gannon trying to chase down that course record as well. So close to that edge, but perfect. A foot lower, that's a disaster. Calvin has the power to get up there pin high and go for the putt. All names we're used to seeing at the top now, Terry.
Perkins, give us the call from on the ground here as we're watching Robinson on 11.
Yeah, not an ounce of wind, and Isaac drops the hyzer out to 30 feet. That's kind of the distance where the hazard deep of the basket comes into play.
Perkins, can these guys see the hay bales in front of the basket, or is it blind to them and they're just going off what, like the practice round?
Yeah, they can see the hay bales. They just can't see the space in front of the basket. So it is kind of a tough shot. And Luke Taylor's going to go deep and barely skirt the sand trap there, but he is outside of C2. Nicholas has also been playing the steep hyzer. Oh yeah, he's got it wide. That needs to carry. Oh, and it's not going to. It's gonna hit the hay bale. It's back at 30 feet, putting for the par. Sun beaming down on Joey's bucket hat.
I like these angles.
Nice and wide. It's carrying just over the flag. He'll check up at the back edge of the circle there, putting back at the pin.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think we've seen a few off the top on this particular basket. Maybe on
The
the
drone view
MPO
looks pretty
side.
cool.
Kristen was off the top on this one. I think there's been some other close calls as well, all hunting for that $500 Innova Ace bounty here at the Ivy Hill course.
We just see Burr creeping closer to that lead. This guy will not go away, refuses. He wants to be the second youngest world champion of all time. Eagle obviously has the power to get pin high. And he's beyond pin high.
Oh
That's going
my
to come
God.
back. No, it stays out of bounds, just barely.
That's a bummer.
We've seen nobody go long.
Not, yeah.
It's almost, I'm not even sure it's really in these guys' mind because it's playing all back uphill here. Oh yeah, he's going for that one.
Yeah, knowing he needs to be making some moves and also making up for a few of the mistakes and the unfortunate rollaways and such from earlier today. Lazat sits at 21 under. That's 6 back of our leader.
The perfect shot is basically at that stairwell. It's pretty good.
Come on.
No, sit down. Sit down.
The quality is the worst. Couldn't even see anything.
The reaction says it all.
I feel like he's still waiting for the flag and he's finally got word.
Oh.
So as Perkins called it, Antela, it wasn't like he was directly up against the bales. Still a significant putt here from the hazard. He's made some incredible putts so far.
Antela to remain at 26 under. Even with a roar of a crowd.
Yeah, I just heard that roar. I'm wondering where that's coming from.
Something tells me maybe some magic up ahead on 14. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's my guess too. And
Chase
eerily
card. Hit metal.
reminiscent of the Masters tournament in golf. The crowd roaring as Robinson goes to make birdie.
Or maybe the ace.
Feel like he's starting to get his confidence back here.
Yeah, Robinson getting 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. And he's going to pull ahead of Heimberg by 1 more, him and Antala, that is. He moves to 28 under, the other 2 at 26.
But Ivy Hill doesn't give you any breaks as he's about to step up to a hole with a lot of out of bounds.
Oh, thanks.
And here we have Sullivan Tipton. This is 4 birdies. This is his 3rd shot.
Oh, there it is. Sullivan throwing it in.
Oh, what a smile. Incredible.
Well, that's one way to avoid a roll away.
That's one way to make a memory for yourself right there. We got it all here on the Disc Golf Network.
That is powered by Naqua, your adventure gear.
Shot of the day, I'm going to say right now.
Sullivan from way back.
Wow. That's awesome.
Flashback. Take a look at last year's US DGC. Excuse me, a Champions Cup. When he had a very similar throw-in out there at Northwood.
Yeah, that was on 18. Krell, same smile.
Little major throw-in action. Love it. Now, Heimberg. This is what I was thinking was maybe the roar,
it
actually.
still could be.
Left side. Gives it a good bid. Most importantly, it sits down.
Simon, edge of the circle.
That's the worst.
It's going back so far that it's not just a no-brainer shot now. He's going to have to completely reset mentally and decide what kind of shot he wants to throw.
Or he's going to be in a different mentality and say, well, now it's time just to throw this in. And you know, now he's in, I've got to go for everything mode, right? Or maybe he's thinking that.
Sure. That's definitely what he's doing here. That was
good effort.
Yeah, it was an interesting angle he tried to take there, throwing a little hyzer. First round, Isaac went OB, saved the putt. Today, inbounds, great chance for birdie. Isaac has birdied 3 of the last 4 after going double bogey, bogey back on 6 and 7.
Ooh.
We're from the drop zone.
Yeah, any shot going out of bounds, regardless if it crossed, proceeds to the drop zone over there on 17.
Oh, you love the angle for this.
Really?
Nice.
Circle's edge for Antala.
3 really good shots. Ideally with the sidearm, you would skip inside the hazard area to inbounds. It's a golf fairway, and a nice big skip from that area is ideal. Looks like Buckets isn't even going to risk that. He's going to take it all the way to the green grass, and what a great shot.
The heck's happening? Just a bunch of commotion?
This is a par 5. Tipped in. Very nice. Up onto the flat. That is ideal position.
Burr heads to the 18th, sitting 9 under for today's round.
Yeah.
4 back of Robinson at the moment.
And Dickerson bogeyed 17 as well. Probably in a very similar fashion. Went out of bounds off the tee, and getting up and down from the drop zone. So Dickerson is up in the fairway of this hole. A birdie would take him to 11 down for the round. A birdie for Gannon would go to 10.
Solid. Just never a doubt from Antala. We'll go to 27 under, hoping to stay within 2 of Robinson. Isaac needs this to maintain that lead. Oh, not by much, but it drops for him. Robinson to 29.
Unreal. What an unreal day for Joey Buckets. That's the 4th putt today with a lot of chain that landed on the ground.
Aggressive approach here coming from Heimberg.
Very aggressive.
This is going to push to the left. He needs this to slow down, and it doesn't. Big distance, but out of bounds.
Yeah, that's him trying to go for the eagle. But with that, you know, that's way up the fairway. He could still potentially birdie. It is par 5.
Now seeing Chris Dickerson trying to grab range. Also Ezra Robinson out there on the card with him.
Yeah, and it's a severe slope on the latter half of the fairway as it kicks up towards the green. It's a big shot for Dickerson, and right where he landed, it's really extra tough because he's coming up the side slope, but his foot has to land on a flat. I find this very difficult to stay focused and executing the shot as you're going back up the hill. A little low, and it hits the tree. That could find out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it did as we're catching back up with Tipton.
I think a lot of that had to do, Terry, for Dickerson with the footing. Yeah, crowd likes it. Big shot. Very nice. Isaac back to his ways. Great execution, just full power, no question about it.
Perkins, as we're looking at 13, my question is there an idea?
Hard to beat where he just landed, right short of the sidewalk. You don't want to be too far right or you kind of cut off your angle, and this is a big shot. Needs to sit down. That's going to be close. I think he's inbounds, getting the green flag, and it's hard to deny that is a pretty good spot to land. Way up left, probably 150, 180 to the pin.
Is there any advantage of being more on the right side or left side here? I know it's a low ceiling heading up to the green.
Yeah, Nate, if you're too far right, you totally cut off your angle. So you want to see this flatten out a little bit, but then you want to see it move back left. And Nicholas and Isaac are center cut right there.
Burr with his second on the 18th.
Can kind of see those two flat spots. Two golf tees up there. That's the aiming point for Burr.
Gannon still with a chance to get a share of the course record here.
Yeah, he did this 2 days ago where he went way left. He's going to be in bounds, but you can see how much he has to deal with the initial slope and then the slope up to the green.
So Dickerson did go out of bounds. This will be his 5th throw.
Disaster for Dickerson on the final few holes.
After making such a great charge, what that means, ending with a bogey on the 18th, he'll fall back to 9 under for today's round. Still moving up 11 spots. Isaac's at 29, Dickerson at 21. Heimberg, can he still birdie after going out of bounds?
If it's clean. Oh, and he hits a late tree.
What did I miss?
And a rough go out here for Anthony Barella today. Yeah, it looks like he's maybe trying to make up for something.
Dude, I mean, this is his tee shot. He went big off the tee. Is there any
Over the
way?
house?
He's bringing those houses into play, and he finds
What the?
finds the fairway.
So he's going to have a long throw-in look at Eagle. The only person ever.
Look at this shot.
Wow.
This is an uneagleable hole, basically,
He's a
on
menace.
paper. Unless you're Anthony Barella. He's still going to have to make a big throw-in. That's pretty cool.
Not sure if we'll see Santa coming off that rooftop or not, but what a shot by AB.
Yeah, if you're watching us over there in Vendor Village, run over to the 18th green. Might see an eagle from AB. So I can see that low ceiling that we're talking about as it goes. The ground is going up, but the tree ceiling is making it very difficult to get all the way back to the pin. And Antola's going to get caught up on that second tier. Still a makeable putt, especially with the way he's been executing on the greens. All right, so Gannon, not as bad as initially it seemed. He's got this little low section that he can really use as kind of a power shot just up there, shooting past that big tree in the middle of your screen. But it's up and up and up the whole way. It's very difficult to judge the distance here. But it's going to be a full power shot here for Gannon.
Oh, was
Right
that a
into the
football?
tree.
Didn't even look close to his marker.
It's interesting because of this guy right here. Sullivan Tipton is playing really good here on the back nine. At the moment, Burr is on the lead card. But Tipton, that's a tap-in for birdie. And there's a potential that Burr is going to be on chase.
Yeah, you heard him just reference it. Bullseye hit for Robinson.
Nice shot there from Luke after an amazing tee shot. It's one of those things, Terry, when you start to look at who's going to be in the final group on the final day of this World Championship. It seems like 3 guys are relatively locked in. You got Robinson onto the Heimberg. But who is going to be that 4th person?
Lizotte thought he pulled it too far right. The chains said, we'll help you out.
It did look right.
Enough slope or awkwardness for Antila to go to a straddle, which is not his standard putting stroke.
Oh. Oh.
Doesn't seem to matter. Antila buries it. He moves to 28 under.
The basket must just look like 10 feet wide for Antila. He's just been, I mean, going all the way back to yesterday, making everything.
He spoke of his confidence in the post-round interview yesterday. It's clearly continuing here. And at just the right time, because he said he felt like he hasn't been that confident on the green here in this season. So, not a better time than here late in the World Championships. But Isaac Robinson right now is your leader by 2. Sits at 30 under. Bounce back for McMahon.
Yeah, we didn't see all that double the last hole. Really kind of popped him out of there.
Yep. Heimberg is in for the par after going out of bounds, and Sullivan Tipton continues with his momentum. 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, so he needs to shoot 1 under or better on the final 3 holes to be on the lead card.
Stuff the stocking with an eagle here. Let's see it.
Do it.
Oh. We'll have to settle for a tap-in birdie. Impressive nonetheless for Anthony Barella.
Sully playing safe here on 16's tee shot.
Thanks.
So you kind of look at it here, Terry. You got Ricky playing the 18th. Even if he birdies, he won't play on the lead card. The best it is for Rick is Chase. So Taylor
Chris
does have a
Dickerson up
chance
10
to
spots.
make some birdies and stay on the lead card.
Wysocki, who's coming off a birdie on the 17th. That's his 2nd on the 18th, so we'll rejoin Robinson with the tee of 14.
See that little tree in the middle of the fairway that's lit up? Just want to go just around that with some good hyzer. You can't go too straight here. You can find OB long right. I feel like this is one of the holes that a significant portion of the field is playing it for par. Taylor has enough power to get up there in 2, like we've seen from a few guys today. But he's got to go more aggressive off the tee, and he's done it. That's really nice.
I wonder how that no cell phone rule is going. Hopefully they just put their phones in airplane mode, but I see so many people with their phones out.
Even better
Really?
for Onsala. These are such critical moments for all of these guys because Isaac has made it through that portion of the round that it seemed like it was crumbling. And
Uh-oh.
they've got to continue to put
Oh,
pressure on
perfect.
Isaac. They can't make it easy. And this is overturned. I don't think it's going to get there for Calvin. I don't even think it crossed. So he'll be a long ways back. It's going to be a tough par save for Calvin.
Rick will be just inside the circle with a birdie look to close out. Almost pin high.
I think today for Ricky Wysocki, it's going to be what could have been. He's going to have that putt to go to 7 down, but he had 3 bogeys today on the back 9.
Go inside car. Major wheel. Huh? Facts, brother. Just the way I feel. It's the most like casual. Dude, I'm. Well, you did kind of push it. You certainly pushed it.
30 centimeters?
Yeah. Not that's what all of my shots less than that. Oh.
And Isaac has gotten back on track, struggled so mightily on 6 and 7, but look at this approach here on 10. He picked up a birdie on 8, got the par on 9, 10, sticks the landing there. That's going to be the tap in. Here on hole number 11, he's going to make light work of this 100-meter throw.
And remember, he missed a putt on 9. He was on the green, he missed a putt, didn't feel like the confidence was back, but I think the shot on 10 into the green was critical. The one on 11 was great, but I think it was this one right here on 12 that gave him that boost. And then he just started striping. Right here, these 2 shots on 13 and then a tee shot on 14 in perfect position. Robinson looking to go back to back. Still a very real possibility.
Yeah, and it would be the first time we've seen back-to-back world championship titles in the MPO division since 16 and 17 by one Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah, the only back-to-back champions are Ken Climo, of course. Yeah, Barry Schultz, Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki. Join a small group of a small group of world champions to make it 2 years in a row.
I think so.
Wysocki on the 18th.
This is a must-make for Ricky. I think so much confidence is needed heading into the final round. And he's done it. Great putt from Rick.
Wysocki will shoot a 7 under.
Okay, so it was deemed that Calvin did not cross the out-of-bounds area, so he's left way back. Still outside circle 2. He's pretty much going to be forced to lay up there. It slopes away behind the pin.
And Luke is going to have a good look at the basket. He too is almost deep of it in 2 throws.
He was worried. No question about it. He was asking the spotter, make sure he gets the thumbs up.
Oh,
This is 100% Antila's game plan.
Yeah, that will be
okay.
a layup from there.
A little bit
Side of
of a
circle
turn on
2.
that one.
One thing I love about Antila is he's so committed to playing his game plan. He does great preparation. This could go OB long. It's got to sit down, and it does. Nice.
Lazat throwing his second. And that will be out of bounds. The roller coaster ride that has been Simon Lazat's round, and quite honestly, even his week. He's had some moments of brilliance, but then gives them back from time to time. Robinson right now out in front of Antila by 2. Antila 2 clear of Heimberg.
And I'm just looking at the name Joey Buckets there, Joseph Anderson. He's even par. He's played 13 holes, but he's still inside the top 10. A nice finish to his round. He could be playing still yet on chase card. Just trying to match the angle. He's done that nicely. A little bit too deep though, so that's going to be a sketchy putt.
It is, and I want to throw it out to Perks and Nate. There was a lot of conversation about this hole as we rolled into this weekend. Have you heard any, we'll say, updated conversations? Is anybody warming up to this green, for instance?
I don't know if anybody's necessarily warming up to this green. I just asked Nate Heinold what he thought the grade was. He laughed and said it's 10%, but it's chilling at a little over 50% here. And you add the rocks in there inside the bullseye, and you know, every now and then you get a bad look at the draw and you roll out, and then you add that OB in there. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially at the Worlds. Nicholas gonna try and play this one deep. That's gonna hit rocks. That needs to sit, and it's teetering on the rock.
Yeah, it's one thing, Perkins. I really don't mind the slope at all. But I would love to see them just remove all those rocks, get that nice and grassy. I think it would, ultimately make the whole play just a little bit better.
Well, I'd follow that up and maybe make a suggestion. Maybe we see some form of tiered railroad ties or something that maybe creates a shelf or something of that nature. Those are all possibilities that could come into play into the future development of this course.
And you know what's fortunate, Tara? Nobody cares what we think. So
That's true.
let's watch Taylor. This would be a great putt. I mean, he's still battling to stay potentially on the lead card. This would go a long way to helping him. Yes! Big putt from Luke Taylor.
Giving the love to the gallery.
Youngster's just going to run up that 50% grade. What a huge putt.
Oh, son, that's a great birdie.
Yeah, it is.
Made that one.
Somebody's got
Nice.
to tell me, is that his mom that's caddying for him?
I believe that is the case.
That's really cool, man.
Took Burr off the lead card with that.
Love that. Fist bump for mom.
It's got to play clean there,
Just
us.
a drop. And it's right side, but in.
I'm telling you, this is my favorite day of the year so far, Terry. I live for this. I just love every bit of this. This is really cool. These guys are playing fantastic. Everybody's giving 100%. They want to be on that featured card, that lead card for the World Championship. Give themselves a chance. Isaac, he wants 2 in a row. Antela wants to be the first man from Europe to be a world champion. We got some youngsters chasing him down. Can Heimberg find a major championship? So much to talk about.
Take another look at Luke Taylor, the stepper from Circle 2. Just everything about it was perfect. Online, height, speed, everything. Never a doubt. You didn't have to think about it or wait for it to fall in. Luke Taylor doing work. He's won a world championship before in the junior division back in 2021. And this was taking place down in Emporia, out at the country club. Yeah, look at how far that drive is.
Come on.
And that one had flopped in for him. And look at what, just even the physical stature of what he's been doing in the last few years just to get himself into this position. He has grown up right in front of us.
Man.
Again, and Byrne, a few of the others have.
That is awesome. Just awesome to see. Great coverage.
I know.
Now he's playing with the big boys.
Tipton is third.
Yeah, Sully's been playing this hole for par. And he's going to make it pretty easy on himself, just outside the bullseye. Still, Sully needs to pick up at least 1 birdie. Depending on what Taylor does, maybe 2 to be on the lead card. Luke Taylor was the first person I saw when I got into Lynchburg on Tuesday, and he said, "Nate, I'm gonna make you watch me play disc golf this week." And that's exactly what this kid has done. Another great tee shot.
There's different discs. Nice shot. Thank you. The same one.
And I promise you too, that the guys on the card notice it. The distance for his size is very special. This is danger town for Robinson, but gets fortunate to catch the side hill inbounds. Holding his breath on that one.
Great commitment, Niklas. Hold. Hold.
Oh,
Wow.
that last little jump
Side
up,
hill.
yeah, that then kicked him to the right, kept him in bounds.
You know, that's really interesting to see Niklas go so aggressive off the tee. Terry, when we were reviewing the course, he was saying he was going to play it lower on the hill, making a little change up here. That'll be Calvin's bogey putt. And here it is. It's an interesting finish to the course, Terry, because you got 15, which if you put it in bounds off the tee is a pretty easy, you know, not easy, but relatively easy birdie. 16's a very difficult birdie. In fact, brings OB into play a lot of the time. This is tipped in to save his par. And then 17 is this 50-50 kind of hole where all these guys are going for the green. If you don't land in bounds, you go to the drop zone, you're probably going to take a bogey.
Well, and speaking of our keys for closing, brought to us by Black Ink Discs, give us a little more insight to take us home.
Well, as I'm talking about, I think keeping it clean, keeping it in bounds off these tee shots is going to give you your best opportunity to make birdies, especially the last 4 holes. We have 2 par 5s and a couple other really challenging holes. The landing zones have been so critical. We just saw Luke Taylor get way up in one of these landing zones and then riding that momentum. Ricky Wysocki just birdied 2 holes, 17 and 18 to finish his round. He's going to ride that momentum into tomorrow. Who can find the momentum right now? Final 4 holes of the penultimate round, and this can go a long way to crowning the champion. We're here with Sullivan Tipton on the tee of 17. Oh, and he skips out of the water.
Wow.
This is the one maybe par because this tree is really tough to putt by.
That's awesome.
These branches on this tree are kind of dangling down. It's kind of a tricky little putt there. Uh-oh.
Oh.
This needs to get clean.
Needs help. And he is clean.
Oh, wow. Looked like he was bringing some of those trees into play. It's going to ultimately sit down and be safe. But I think he was holding his breath there upon releasing that one.
Yeah, but both the shots so far here on 15. Bucket's perfect on the flat spot here. Luke Taylor's disc is another, I don't know, 70 feet up, but he's on that side slope. Not sure he's going to be able to try to attack. Anderson's going to go to the sidearm here. If he can just find the side hill slope just across the cart path on the dirt is ideal for him.
Should have good footing from there.
Yeah.
Lazat on the 17th. That's going to have to hit something or put on the brakes real quick.
Oh, it did. Hit the rock there, Terry. The spotter? Okay.
That is
Be careful
awesome.
waving that green flag too early. Calvin needs one inbounds here. Still fighting for lead card. Could be a 1.
Right next to the basket. Does it stop? It does. 1 meter short from going out of bounds. Heimberg, a birdie look.
Man, that's a cool spot to sit and watch. Right there on the green. Just perfect for Antela. Perfect. Never in doubt.
McMahon has a birdie look.
Oh!
Circle 2. That's 3 in a row as we roll the Zuka replay. 15% off over at Zuka.com. Worlds 24 is the code you can use. That's good on all Zuka merchandise. Also our presenting sponsors here of our World Championship.
All right, so the footing is really bad here for Luke. He cannot run up at all. He's going to have to go to the sidearm, just position play here. You know, 10, 15 steps ahead of Antela would be great.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That's bringing the OB left into play.
Oh.
And he's found it. And he's found it. Ugh. Still a chance to save par.
That was for lead card. Oh.
Tipton looking for the birdie. Around the tree.
Yeah, those branches are just low enough to make that putt not that easy.
Look at
What
that
is his
scorecard.
scorecard?
1 par is back on 5.
Goodness. Simon
You-
Lazat. I love him.
Usually we say that somebody's out there playing chess, not checkers. His looks more like a checkerboard for sure. Just the same, but Heimberg is in for the
A
birdie.
little less colorful there on Calvin's card.
A little more consistent, too.
So Calvin is at the moment safely on the lead card tomorrow. Sullivan Tipton needs a birdie to be the front runner for that 4th position as Isaac just peers it up the hill. That's going to go 5 birdies for the last 6 holes. The confidence is starting to build back in that world champion, and the smile too.
Forehand off the tee here by Heimberg.
Yeah, this is a good play here. Just want to use the slope of the golf fairway. That's just fine for Calvin. Even a bogey for Calvin would keep him on the lead card. It's not that long of a shot here, Terry, but the slope is so severe that it makes it very touchy. It's going to have to just try to float it around this corner. You can't really snap it. Just put it on an angle, let it flex out. Very nice.
Deflected.
What a mistake made here by Luke after such a crushing drive. You heard him with his own frustration after releasing it, but
Yeah.
when we talk about unforced errors, a lot of people are, may say that feels like a dumb saying. That is my definition of an unforced error right there.
Yeah.
He did not need to get too aggressive or do anything too wild, and he just simply pulled it out of bounds.
Yeah, and I would say today with the weather conditions, really almost every error that's happened from any competitor has been an unforced error. They're execution errors, and that's exactly what we saw from Luke. Now, glass half full for Luke. He's about the edge of circle 2 right now. His only focus should be putting between these 2 trees that are right in front of him. As long as he's clear with a little bit of turnover, he should be easily inside the circle. Go in.
Oh.
Yes! Birdie!
All I was thinking is put it next to the pin. Don't hit the basket and roll away. And Luke Taylor says,
That came in clutch.
I'm putting this one in. He buries it.
I got goosebumps. 2 in a row. Unlikely. Come on.
As he's going to hustle up the hill, Luke Taylor from way downtown.
How far was that? I didn't even see.
Amazing. I love it.
There's a big smile on Robinson's face. He appreciates it.
As he taps in an easy birdie.
Like, hey kid, this is how us world champs do it.
Less stressful this way.
Antala is going to tap in as well.
Man, that's Luke Taylor keeping pace with Isaac. That's 5 birdies in the last 6 holes.
Unbelievable.
Insane. It's going to take him to 25 under. He's now on the lead card. Back on it, I should say. Also, just keep going up the hill.
Yeah, I was just
Let
going
your
to say,
mom
don't
collect everything else.
I was just thinking that. He's young enough. Not a problem for Luke Taylor.
Nice.
Nobody has more adrenaline pumping right now than that guy. He just has to somehow maintain and close out strong. Trying to fight for that spot on the lead card at Championship Sunday here at the 2024 Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, Sullivan Tipton, if he birdies, he goes to 25. Now, if Luke ends at 25, Sully would take that spot because he's farther under par here in this round. Sullivan currently sitting at 7 down for the round. He would go to 8. And that's not going to make it much easier. New shot of the day. I don't know. The big throw-in from Sullivan is still the shot of the day for me, but Luke has made that a little bit more of a conversation in the last 2 shots. Calvin almost to the top, not quite all the way up.
Antela with a chance to match the course record still. Taking a look at a few of the moves that took place. Paul Macbeth came up 7 spots today. Adam Hammes not able to follow up the 10 under effort he had out here 2 days ago. Just 2 under today. Kevin Jones bumping up a little. And Barella struggles as well as he falls back a few more. And that got caught up by the same tree that I believe Gannon had hit earlier.
Yep.
So birdie not likely in store for Sullivan Tipton.
Yeah, and that you know, affects things for Luke. That being said, I mean, Luke is still at this point, you know, trying to fight to gain strokes on Isaac. As we see the flyover and you see the live view from the drone, there's out of bounds, right? We're flying over the OB right now. And there's 2 ways to play. You can play short of that, and if you do, you're pretty much just playing the hole for par, or you can try to go big. Now, Luke, in the first round out here at Ivy Hill, he went big, and he got it in bounds, and he's going again for that giant shot. This is a roller, but it's got to flip to the right, and it's gonna.
Go, go, go.
All right. Sweet. Best way to attack it from there, Terry, is the sidearm.
Or throw one in from circle 3 at some point. I'm just throwing out ideas, lobbing them out here right now.
Isaac's going to play short. This was his consistent play.
Another one of those holes, where players said, I'm not going after, I'm just playing for par. This is one he specifically called out in that regard.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take risks anyways.
This is his 3rd.
Nice. Looks great.
So Heimberg with a birdie would get to 27. Big roll from Antela, and that will check up.
The cross?
That's going to be out of bounds for Antela. And with that, we're going to take a break on the network. We'll be right back.
I think the Black Hole Pro is the best practice basket I ever had at home. I think the Black Hole Pro is a great practice basket.
I think the Black Hole Pro is one of the best teaching tool putting baskets that there is.
What I love most about this basket is that it catches really well.
Its chains are very solid for catching. They have a good heft to them.
It's pretty lightweight. You can put it in the back of your car easily. If you're looking for a great solution for a practice basket and you don't want to break the bank, Black Hole Pro.
In my opinion, the PA3 is the best putter I've ever thrown, the best putter I've ever putted with. I just get a clean release whether I'm throwing it, whether I'm putting with it. My name is Isaac Robinson, one-time world champion, and I putt with the PA3.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be, It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
Good safe shot from Isaac Robinson.
Pay close attention to the way that Isaac plays these final 3 holes. The blueprint for a world championship in 24 hours. So unfortunately for Sully, he's going to have to kind of sit and wait at this point on Luke Taylor and see if Luke makes a mistake. But at the moment, Luke is out across the OB. See, we've seen players, Terry, here on set 16 from huge tee shots still go on to make bogeys as the OB comes very much into play on the left. I like going to the sidearm on the second shot and playing it kind of short right, kind of on the short side of circle 1, not playing that low left side of the basket. And it, you know, we started out our day with our idio walk and talk with Sullivan Tipton. He said, you know, I'm just soaking it all in. My experience here at the World Championship playing on the chase card. It looks like he's going to do it again. And it's most likely going to be with Gannon Burr, Eagle McMahon, and Ricky Wysocki. All major champions. Pretty big for Sullivan Tipton. That's really big. And this guy right here, Calvin Heimberg, still chasing a major championship. Going to play in yet another lead card final round at the Worlds.
Heimberg goes to 27 under, currently 4 back of Robinson, but he'll be there for tomorrow's round, watching it all unfold. And still in the hunt.
Calvin has the best putting day of his life tomorrow. He could be world champion. He is so good off the tee pad. He's given himself so many opportunities. So we saw Antila out there picking up his disc. So he was OB, never crossed back in bounds. I think forced to play for bogey. That needs to chill out. Like I said, the blueprint for Isaac Robinson as he plays these final 3 holes. You know, what can a guy do? Say he's 2 up with these 3 to play. We already know he's playing this hole for par. Forces somebody to try to make a big shot on 16. 17 we know is kind of that birdie bogey type of hole. Could you conceivably see Isaac playing 17 for par, laying up? And then 18, as long as you keep it in bounds on the first 2 shots, par is very attainable. Isaac is going to be putting the pressure on the field tomorrow, potentially, as we come down to these final 3 holes.
Yeah, I think what's going to be so crucial tomorrow is when you get to hole 17, who has the box?
Exactly.
You know, obviously it's going to matter who's got the lead, but who has the box? And do you try to react? Do you at that point try to change up your game plan at all, depending on what happens and who's throwing first come 17? 16, or excuse me, 18, maybe not nearly as volatile, but 17 definitely is going to be a make or break moment.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Terry. And I like the sidearm here. The mistake is short.
I think you even just heard him say something about coming up 30 short.
Exactly. What we've seen from day one is if he's too low and too far left, almost every one of those shots has gone OB.
Nice.
Instead of 30 short, he's going to be about 20 to the right of the pin. Great positioning.
So much maturity in Luke Taylor for how young he is. Really ahead of his years. This is really fun to watch. 2 days ago out here at Ivy Hill, he was having a really difficult day. Bumps off the lead card, and now he's back and he's still battling.
Nice forehand coming out of Anderson. Just trying to get something together to close out, birdieing 2 of the last 3. Flight Factory drone giving us some beautiful overviews. Quite manageable for Robinson.
Him and his dad have just been so in sync all week long. His dad's been right there on his shoulder every shot right there. They're always having little conversations. A good team, father-son team there.
Wonder how Ezra's doing.
Perfect. That's exactly what you need to do there is check it just short. 20, 25 feet short. Skip it right up to the pin. It's just these 4 men left on the course today. What a great day it's been, Terry. You know, I was thinking watching the FPO show this morning, Colin Hanley, Evelina Salonen going at it. Tomorrow it's Christmas for me, folks. It's 2 world champions on a tremendous course.
Yeah, we know Holland Hanley goes into Championship Sunday with a 1-stroke lead over Evelina. Kat Mertz, who's had an incredible week. She sits 5 back of Hanley. She's at 15 under to Holland's 20. Robinson close out with the par. He will. Here on the number 16. And with that, they're going to be cleaning up here on the 16th. And we're going to take a break on the network.
Oh, backup hole. Y'all ready for this?
Girl, we're always ready.
Yep.
Sarah, have you tried this new True Athlete pre-workout? It's so good.
Good food, good birdie.
Okay.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Soup's up. What's even in there? It is birdies.
You want a new disc, but you're overwhelmed by all of the options. Well, we've got you covered. Meet the Innova Pathfinder Guides, a series of graphics that match a set of discs for your style of play, curated by our own Riley O'Neill and Eric Schwann. Whether you're the beginner, the crusher, or anywhere in between, we've got a lineup for you. So scan the QR code, find a guide that matches your style of play, and discover your path to a better game. If you haven't seen these, you're missing out. All right, back to the action.
I don't flex, I'm a success. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. Flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex. I don't flex, flex.
The Z-Flex. Oh, this music's not copyrighted.
We head to the 17th.
Oh, the camera's on 17 there.
Gotta get
Oh, he's shoddy.
Looking for a little love, something to slow it down. Taylor, short range birdie luck.
Tear Bear, that's within a foot of the distance of the previous putt, of which he missed. But you can see how much that means to him. Inbounds.
Taylor trying to remain on the lead
This hole's
card
so scary.
within striking distance. Robinson off to the right. Does he get through? It does.
That's layupville.
Nice.
And there's almost no chance to go for it from right there. Those branches and that tree make it almost impossible to get a good line without firing it at the pin, which brings out of bounds into play. See if Antela can be the third to get inbounds.
Oh, this looks
Go, 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 go.
light, and it just barely clears.
Wow.
Antela, nearly perfect speed.
I'd say all three. Very fortunate. I guess that's what it takes here on 17.
Well, someone who knows what it takes is Kelvin Heimberg. He's sitting at 27 under. That's currently 4 off our leader. Nate Perkins hustled over and caught up with him after his round.
Calvin Heimberg, 9 under par today. Talk to us. Where's your head at?
You know, I'm really just a little tired and hungry right now. But yeah, it was a solid round. You know, it still wasn't, you know, clean by any stretch of the imagination. I've been throwing the disc really well. Just haven't really been finishing out some holes on the putting green the entire week. But and there was a couple there in the middle of the round today that I wish I could have back. But you know, I still put together a really solid round. 9 under. I think that might be what I shot the first time I was out here. So you know, I think it's going to put me a little closer than I was starting today, which is a good thing. But I think tomorrow I'm really going to have to get out there, and there's not really much room for mistakes anymore. We're running out of time.
Well, what holes come to mind when you think of this final round coming up tomorrow?
You know, hard for any in particular, but I would say the ending stretch. You know, if you want to be in it, you're gonna have to have a good front nine. So you know, you got to do well on like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then really the other ones I think about where stroke swings could happen is kind of like 12 through 15, 16, even 17. 17 could be a 2-stroke swing real quick. So, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, chances for strokes to swing out here. You know, you throw out of bounds and, you know, strokes add up quickly. So I don't know if there's really any in particular. A lot of them can be dangerous. You could bogey any hole out here. You're never really safe.
Well, I know you're not typically one to check scores, but did you see that the lead card was kind of struggling a little bit, particularly Isaac kind of struggled on that front nine, and that you guys were making up a ton of ground early?
Yeah, I saw that. I checked in middle of the round. I saw that, and just told myself to keep pushing. And I kind of did, but yeah, there was a couple of mistakes there at the end. 15 thrown out of bounds and 16 thrown out of bounds really hurt, but finishing with 2 birdies was a good way to finish.
Well, last question for you, Calvin. Because it's the World Championships, we're playing 5 rounds. Have you felt at all any kind of pressure that's been building as we get closer to that final moment?
I don't know if I've really felt pressure building towards like the final moment yet, but I'm sure I'll feel it tomorrow.
All right, Calvin, thanks for your time. We'll see you tomorrow on the lead card.
Thank you.
Very similar position to where we saw Lizotte.
And while he's been putting great throughout this tournament, it's always about the next putt. Can't give anything up right now. Isaac has already laid up. This is a chance to get one back.
Montala buries it.
Nice.
Same could be said for Luke.
That'll bring Miklas within 2. Taylor also converts. He'll go to 26 under. That brings him within 5 of Robinson. Final hole on the other side of our final break of the day. We'll see you there.
What the hell is this commercial? Zuka? Okay. Oh.
Got a good thing coming, and it's all I need. Everything I wanted is in front of me.
I just gotta lower the music part. Who do you guys want to see win tomorrow? I'd be pretty happy if Isaac got it. He's a nice dude.
Luke Taylor, tee of 18. He's calling it straight out of bounds. Let's see if he's right, and he is, unfortunately.
Ooh. Nervy shot there from the youngster. A bogey still keeps him on lead card. As it stands right now, Nicholas Antla has chipped away 4 shots at Isaac Robinson. Same could be said for Calvin Heinberg. Luke Taylor's chipped away 3 at the leader.
You could be taking this all in person. We appreciate you being out there and watching, but also if you want to watch live disc golf in person, we have our passes available. I've been told these are going to be at the deepest discounts right now, so if you want to get in on it early, the gold, silver, and bronze season passes available over at dgpt.com/tickets. Excited that next year our Disc Golf Pro Tour will be concluding right here in Virginia. Going to have our Pro Tour Championships taking place.
Seasons pass, that's a pretty cool idea.
I think that's going to be interesting to see what adjustments are made as we think about the Tour Championship next year.
Don't say that.
I would all.
Things not often heard said at the World Championships in the second to last round. Mom,
So,
don't say that.
This is a really tough angle for Luke because you have so much OB on the right, and then with the angle, he could easily go OB left if he tries to overcorrect.
Just like that.
This is potentially going to be OB, but it's flattening out very nicely. What a shot from the kid.
Yeah, he likes it.
That's great. That was a really pressure-packed shot, and it gives him a chance to save par. I say it all the time with young players, Joey Buckets included here. These are great experiences. Failures can be just as valuable as successes. Putting himself in this position, we could be talking about Joey Buckets in 4 years at a World Championship and thinking back about Ivy Hill in 2024. Kid's got a great career ahead of him. A birdie here would tie Antala for the course record.
Total.
There's 9 under with 2 bogeys.
That looks like the setup required. Antala starting the day 6 back of our leader. At one point had the outright lead.
Never a doubt with Isaac Robinson here on this shot.
Essentially matching what we just saw from Antala.
Yep. And they're in that speed slot right there. That now that we've played this course a couple of times, right between those 2 teeing areas is that little speed slot that kind of lines them up perfectly to throw this backhand hyzer up the hill to the green. Both of them are going to have a great opportunity as they have a nice little chat. 2 great competitors, but there's only one title of world champion. Only one guy can walk away tomorrow with the trophy held high over his head. Who will it be?
As you mentioned earlier, Isaac trying to join that club of being a back-to-back champion, which we've only seen a few other times. And Antala, first European MPO world champion if he were to hoist the trophy tomorrow. Isaac is the only major wire-to-wire winner in the last 5 years. That was at 2023 Champions Cup. Of course, Champions Cup last year, then winning the World Championships later in the year, picking up 2 majors last year. Now trying to go wire to wire here in 2024 at the Worlds. His closest competitor, Joseph Anderson, falling off hard today.
And let's just put it this way. Okay, so Antala is actually a little short of that speed slot. You can see how you need to be up about another 50 feet. Guess we actually didn't see Antala's land, so he landed on the flat spot here. Still some danger. He's gonna have to go to a backhand roller.
No way. Oh my
really
God.
Cool. Really cool.
Just outside of the circle.
Wow, that's insane.
That right there proves to me that Antala has what it takes to win. I mean, he just pulled out a shot that not everybody can throw. Executed it with really nice perfection there, and he'll have a look at birdie.
Calling for it to go in. Joey Buckets, again, a rough day out here. We'll watch him tomorrow, see how he can bounce back, but his run at the title will end today.
Yeah, he'll play tomorrow with Chris Dickerson, James Proctor, Joe Freeman. Third card.
So that his finish, what, was 29th last year at his first Worlds, and still sitting in 11th at the moment.
So Isaac is in the perfect speed slot here, just as power highs are up the hill. I mean, from that position, you see Isaac birdieing at least 8 out of 10 times, if not 9 out of 10. There's a couple of little branches that he has to worry about, of course. Did a nice job to keep it below there, and he's going to have a tap-in birdie. So it's actually, right, Robinson's flipping the script here on Antala, forcing Antala to make another putt to stay within 2.
And Luke will cement his spot on the lead card tomorrow.
And a really mature par, assuming he makes that putt, right? I mean, a bad tee shot, but a great second shot. What would have been his third. And he's gonna have a pretty easy putt for par. One more big putt for Antala. I talk about momentum, so critical. You could envision this putt tomorrow, Terry, to win a world championship. Could be tied walking up this hill. These are good memories to have. See it about 3 steps outside the circle. Antala today is 3 for 4 from circle 2. Perfect inside the circle. Can he make it 4 for 5? Gonna go to that straddle. Coming just a little bit uphill from here, and then it flattens out right at the basket.
Sounds like there's a lot of people talking.
To stay within 2 on Championship Sunday.
tell you what, though, he still cut the lead in half.
Yes, coming in 6 back today of Isaac Robinson, and it looks like he will be 3 behind him. And the gallery, along with hole 18, located less than 200 feet away from where we're watching. Luke Taylor, solid performance. The resilience in him today. At one point, he bogeyed 3 holes in a 5-hole stretch, but still battles back to only have 2 strokes short of your course record. Shoots an 8 under. Robinson will take his lead into tomorrow, and Antela taps in for the par.
Wow.
I think Isaac Robinson showed some tremendous resiliency today. As a world champion, he knows that that is
Holding on
critical.
by 2-stroke
Your
lead.
path to the title is never an easy one.
I think they're just playing
Fended
this course
off
again
Antela.
tomorrow.
He fended off how many other great players. He still has a 3-stroke lead heading into the final round.
Or do they gotta wait in line to chat to the little interview?
Air conditioning, along with being right below where our studio's located. What does this feel like as you come in here, especially as the leader?
Yeah, there's definitely a sigh of relief as the round is over, but immediately the mind of a great champion is on to the next. What does he need to do between now and the first tee tomorrow to prepare himself in the best possible way? What is he going to eat? Where's he going to? What's he going to? How's he going to sleep? What's he going to do tomorrow morning? The mind of a champion never stops.
I want to see the full list of names.
I guess in my case, the mouth of a champion never stops either. Terry.
Well, as you're welcome into the booth, we're going to be kicking off Tournament Central in a little while. But first, tell me a takeaway from today. What immediately jumps out at you as you're watching them tally up their scores and submit them?
Well, I think today is exactly why we do this. It's why we as players prepare all year long to play the World Championship. For these moments, there's little victories inside the bigger victories. I think Isaac had several of those today, but I think also Antela had several of those today, right? You're 6 back. You don't think in 9 holes you're going to be now tied for the lead. That happened. And if Isaac Robinson comes out and plays the same way that he did today tomorrow, he doesn't win. He has to play better tomorrow. Somebody tomorrow in this group is going to pop off. But overall, like I said all day long, my favorite day so far. I cannot wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, at one point, Isaac Robinson through 7 holes was 1 over par. It looked like his chances were slipping away. He got back on track, battled forward, and we have an incredible battle in front of us. Looking forward to how it's going to play out. We're going to take a quick break on the network, then we'll come back. We'll have Tournament Central. We'll also talk with Nate Perkins, and we'll have our OTB shot of the day. All of that and more on the other side.
That's awesome. Oh, there's the leaderboards. Chris Dickerson up 10 spots, though. That's awesome. Wow, everyone on this top 10 jumped up. They like swapped the top 20 people. Macbeth, 15th. Simon. Well, I think I'm going to watch round 3 because I forgot to watch it yesterday. If you want to stick around, Oh, oh, that's loud.
The strongest do not fear the elements, they embrace them. Midway through the week, we are beginning to see who is rising above the field and taking advantage of what the course has to offer. But the challenges of nature never stop, and to flourish requires thriving through the chaos. Round 3 of the 2024 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championship marches on now.
Hello and welcome to round 3 coverage from the 2024 PDGA Pro World Championships in Lynchburg, Virginia. You're watching Jomez Pro and you're listening to Big Sexy Commentary, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Colling.
That's right, Big N. Or Average N. Average N and Big J here bringing you round 3 coverage. And we have a fantastic weather again. And I've just been tickled to death by this. This has been a fantastic week. The weather has been cooperating once again. Scores are going to be good. I mean, that's just what we're going to see. Round 1, Isaac Robinson on this course here in New London shot a bogey-free 11 under. It's just really kept him in front the whole way. Adam Hammes, hot round yesterday at Ivy. Only player to get into the double digits, shooting a 10 under. That got him up to second place. In a tie with this man right here, who is, again, we mentioned it yesterday, we'll say it again, peaking at the right time. Joseph Anderson, aka Joey Buckets, just been very consistent, just a few bogeys. It's the only thing that's really keeping him back from Isaac right now. And Simon Lizotte had a great round yesterday, very solid event. Every time we checked in with him, he was making a putt from about 40 feet, and it felt like he was just placing it in the basket. When his putt is on, man, he is a fun player to watch.
Back into the woods in New London, starting here on hole 1, 395 downhill. A little bit of slope down to the right side. I think that backhand mid-range is probably the best play, trying to slide it forward
switch my
with something
title.
a little bit flippy where you throw a lot of hyzer on it and let it kind of stand up through the flight.
Round 3.
Isaac hasn't really shown any nerves trying to defend his title from last year, winning the World Championships in Vermont. See if he continues that same confidence and swagger into the third round. And right off the bat, that is a dart. That is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, let's get right to a follow fight. I mean,
goodness.
it deserves it.
Oh my goodness.
It impresses me how much it just looks, how simple it's made to look. Obviously, it's a fairly wide gap.
Unbelievable.
But it's so, the intention on it is just so perfect, and it's just never near any kind of hazard. The weight is perfect. The skip is perfect.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that disc hit within 6 inches of his intended spot. That was just beautiful. And I'm going to try to match that. Man, that was so close to working. Initially out of the hand, it didn't look that great, but it was working until it caught that last tree.
New favorite bucket? I mean,
2 days in a row?
That's cool.
Matching it with the shorts. He's got a lot of things going on in this outfit. I'm expecting a good round from Joey Buckets today. This is going to need some backdoor help. There will be a putt just outside the circle. And worth mentioning, because I think I should mention it every time this is the case, I have not seen coverage. I haven't looked at scores today, so I am going into this round completely blind, and I'm really excited, as I'm sure you all are at home.
There's that little bit of anti-skip. It's going to be well short, though.
Just Isaac in a class of his own with this tee shot. That was just beautiful. What a great start this would be if Simon were able to knock down this 45-footer. Those trees on the right side of the basket kind of forcing the issue, making him keep it straight on line, not giving him room to swing it out wide. And right off the bat, going to get that lead widened a bit for Isaac.
As if it wasn't already a little bit wide. I think these guys got to be careful. You have to keep applying pressure, certainly. Even though we haven't visibly seen the nerves, I'm sure that Isaac is feeling the pressure of the moment and how important it would be to him to try to defend. Don't want to let him start building a lead that's so big that he can just be kind of having a walk in the park.
It's worth mentioning, this is the course that we only play twice. Ivy Hill is where the most strokes are going to be gained and lost at this World Championships. Whatever happens here, we're going to have 2 more rounds at Ivy Hill following. 4-shot lead now. Heading into hole 2. 977 feet, man. It is a narrow fairway to try to keep a big distance drive or some sort of fairway driver in this grassy area just to set yourself up for another near 500-foot shot. And missing this tree in the middle and the manhole covers in the fairway, it is a daunting task to try to birdie this hole. Most players are going to just try to find a way to play for par. Isaac is one of the few players who did birdie this round 1, though.
That little flip at the top of the flight.
That is just fantastic. That is just...
That's the best drive I think I've seen.
Fantastic.
And see, this one is kind of just more purely a little bit of hyzer the whole way.
Doesn't have a chance to stay in the fairway. And you have to get that tiny bit of flip up, and it's got to push the right side, still staying right, just in order to stay in the fairway. Such a hard thing to do. This is looking like it's going to try, though. This is really nice. That being said, still left. I think that's a perfect illustration on how unbelievably good Isaac's drive was.
How subtle the difference is.
Once again, a class of his own on these 4 drives.
And all the shots have been pretty good, other than maybe Adam.
Totally.
Adam took the kick right on hole 1, but the difference between good and perfect on display here.
I like this shot for Joey. It's going to find its way to the right side woods, but it's impossible almost not to. He got that thing turning left most of the flight, and that last bit of skip's going to bring it back into the big woods. I do think he should be able to scramble from there.
This needs to sit. And it kind of did.
Yeah, that tree at the end, I think, kept Adam back in the fairway, but it might be a tricky stance with the backhand on his 3rd.
Doesn't look like even close to enough turn. That's just straight across the fairway.
That is looking like a bogey at best coming for Simon.
Little bit left.
Oh my
but
gosh.
Fantastic. just rolls away on him a little bit, but beyond the pin.
Oh my goodness.
Looking at another birdie chance.
Watch out. It's a really good shot to get into circle's edge from back there for Adam. He'll have a look for the par.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Simon. Oof. Fortunately, they have taken away the out of bounds on this right side, which used to be in play recently. That is a great scramble just to get into deep C2. Main thing Joey's got to worry about here is that one little evergreen that's in the way. He misses that nicely.
He found a nice spot over there with the forehand. Really not that thick of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Well played.
Simon for the improbable par. Good height. Just a bit wide right.
Yeah, you're just down there, just up for the circle. Okay.
Isaac to go back-to-back birdies on this hole. Oh. Oh, wow. That's all the way back to C1 edge.
Great putt from Adam.
A rare misstep for Isaac on the putting green.
Wow, 2 left in a row, and that's the first bogey of the
Wow.
event. Is it not?
Oh, it is for Isaac. My goodness, who would have thought with those 2 shots on...
Whoa.
Adam's going to walk away with the only par of the group. Which it's worth noting, it's a good score on the hole. It's a really good score on the hole.
Absolutely.
And bogey's not that bad. I mean, it's averaging 4.52, but it's really bad when you're putting past the pin in 2 for the birdie. Really surprising result there for Isaac. And the field just, they're loving that.
Yeah, that's if you I can't believe that's how the first bogey happened. You know, these 2 days, and after just basically 2 perfect shots, the putt just kind of left him there for a moment.
Surprising. And that goes in. He's at 21 with a 5-shot lead.
Mm-hmm.
However, not the case. He's only got a 3-shot lead currently over Calvin.
Hole 3, 385. Turnover mid-range, most likely play here. Forehand is also an option. One of the more gettable holes at New London.
Very wide for Adam, and look at that thing turning back in. And it's going to continue turning right with the left to right slope. That's a very well thrown drive. Actually, less players birdied this one than hole 1, which I think is a little surprising.
I agree.
A little bit more fairway to work with on this hole, just a bit shorter as well. Isaac coming up short, a little bit too overturned.
Joey doesn't like this. Heavy on the turn, big kick across the fairway.
It's all safe up there. Wow. Very early release for Simon. Doesn't hit any tree and will actually be rewarded with another lengthy birdie look. Jeff Brick on the bag. Jeff Brick is a professional caddy at Augusta National. First time I ever saw Jeff Brick was at the 2007 USDGC caddying for the great Ken Climo. Simon gonna be left and short. Starting off somewhat similar to the way he started round 1, just a little bit off. And Isaac Off on the putt once again here on hole 3. And Adam, what on earth?
I'm kind of with him here on the Nomez. I thought that was down.
Oh, boy. It wasn't the best looking putt, but once it got over that rim, you're certain it's going to fall. Not to the ground, in the basket. Unfortunate result. So only one birdie for the group through the first 3 holes. Not the start that we were expecting from this group.
Yeah, I don't think you could have these 4 guys line up on this particular hole very many times and none of them come away with a birdie. 380, not a lot in the way.
Surprising to say the least.
Pretty shocking. Okay. Calvin getting aggressive here on the tee of 5.
And if you don't get that right, that angle, that distance, he could very easily catch edge on that hillside and roll downhill OB, but Calvin's too good for that.
I mean, you're rewarded. He's so high up the hill here. The second shot, a little bit shorter. He's done great with the forehand.
Yeah, but does he make the putt?
We'll never know. And back to our featured group. Wait a minute.
Well, hold on a second.
Looks like he does. Great birdie.
And a good start for Calvin. I mean, nearly perfect with the par on 2, birdies on the rest. 4 through 5, loving life with that start, that's for sure. And he's going to be climbing up the leaderboard, just 2 back of Isaac right now.
My Zuka car is most helpful because it allows me to carry a map
In there.
It's me perfect. That's
For a par 3, 286 feet blind uphill. Flex forehand is your best option here, I think, although I believe Isaac just based it with a backhand turnover, so that's certainly possible as well. You see how it kind of works right late, couple guardian trees, a couple interesting little sloped areas up near the green. But if you have an overstable fairway driver and you trust your forehand, it's a great option here to just put it on a little anhyzer and let it work back.
Just needs to hold that turn a bit more. Honestly, a little surprised that Adam's not going with his zone from this range. I know it's uphill, but he's so good from inside 350 with that thing.
Yeah, I think he certainly could.
And Isaac, once again, just shaping shots like no one you've ever seen before. He's going to have a look from inside 25. This is looking like it's the one if it misses the ones at the front.
Oh, yeah. Nice shot there. Perfectly through the gap. Oh, way too much anhyzer.
Whoa. An early kick right, too. It's going to be scramble city for Simon. Well, I thought at first he loved it, but then he looked like he didn't like it. Yeah, work to do. Wow.
Oh.
Fantastic effort.
So hard to continue that carry on the anhyzer line. Adam's such a good putter. Yeah, good work. And that's very well done. Now we're getting some birdies. Isaac looks like he might have a slightly obstructed putt. Nah, not too bad.
Well done there. 2 birdies, 2 pars for the group.
And this hole was aced again, folks. It was aced by a man you're listening to
right now.
There you go. I was like, come on, Nate, say something.
I was able to get an ace. It was cool. I didn't hear any chains, just kind of threw my Firebird. Second year in a row I've hit a a world's ace with my Firebird. So
that's awesome, man.
Fun memory.
Well, hole 5, we saw how Calvin played it. Big backhand, tee shots in play, but you really just want to find something to land soft on that side slope to give yourself a shot over this out of bounds area through the guardian trees to this basket that's pretty well protected on all sides. But you can see here with the drone flight that there is a pretty open passage on that right side. However, I do believe the preferred route for most players coming into this green will be the forehand. Isaac laying down the roller. There it is. Working its way back up the hill. Good shot. Not as far as I think he'd like, but he should be able to work something from there.
Pretty close to ideal for a forehand drive. A little bit of drift to the left. Landing basically flat, not much rollaway risk.
Adam's got so much power and speed with that hyzer release.
Here is the problem. If you don't land it flat, though.
And he's going to pay the price. Maybe. Oh, boy. The very end. Wow. How often does that happen? It goes all the way to the bottom of the hill almost. I mean, once it starts going, you definitely don't expect it to stop.
Certainly.
And that's why I think the forehand flex play in this hole is just a bit safer, but Simon is going to get the roll because just landed with too much angle, but you can kind of soften that blow a little bit with the Anheuser out of the hand.
Actually gotta take off. So I'm gonna end the stream here. I'll finish this later. Alrighty. Thanks for watching.